Welcome all of you to this pre-market session. Very good morning. Now today in the session we will discuss about the next action plan for the day. First we will start up with the Dowmantic method. Now you are looking at Bank Nifty. Let me zoom in a bit. So in this Bank Nifty, as you know that yesterday at the day before yesterday at this point it had given us a buy put option. Now we had bought a put option, and as the price started coming down, now when there was a edge point here, that is when the action told us exit put option now. So we exited. So I had bought a put option earlier at around 156 or 160 rupees premium, the 19,500 strike price put option, and by the time I exited, I could exit at around 200 rupees premium. Now once it was exited, later what happened is intraday 3 long signal also gave a sell. At that point the action did say buy put option now once again, but then we saw that intraday 3 long signal was red, it was supporting, but then intra week long signal was still in green. So there is a mismatch, so we had to check the Tenkai signal. So when we went ahead and checked the Tenkai signal in Nifty, we saw that there was a edge point at the same time in Nifty. You can see here there is a very clear edge point and a zigzag in Nifty at the same time. So that is the reason we had to avoid the trade in Bank Nifty. Now after avoiding the trade, we saw that the price maintained around the same level. So as of now we don't have any trade in Bank Nifty. We are waiting for the next trading opportunity here. But let us say today when the market opens, the price starts coming down. I think once the intra-week long signal gives us a sell, that is when the action will tell us buy put option now once again. So anyways, the preparation is telling us get ready to buy put option. But instead, if the price starts going up and if intraday 3 speed signal gives a buy, that is when the action will tell us buy call option now. But when it says buy call option now, remember intraday 3 long signal is still in sell, so you still have to check the Tenkai signal if you take a buy position in Bank Nifty today. Got it? So this is about the action plan for Bank Nifty. Now let us check what's happening in Nifty. Even in Nifty, you can see here there was this point wherein it had told us to buy a put option. We had got into a put option later as the price started coming down. At this intraday 3 long signal edge point, it told us to exit. Now after it told us to exit, from there on there has been no trading opportunity in Nifty. Now anyways, it is telling us to buy put option. So probably once the intraday 3 long signal gives a sell, there will be an opportunity, but then make sure that you check the Tenkai signal, because as per intraday 3 long is green, intra week long signal is green. As per dynamic system level 2 trading method also we are holding long position. So you must have to check the Tenkai signal if the price goes down. But instead, if the price starts going up and if you get an opportunity to buy a call option today, then I don't think there is any need to check the Tenkai signal, because all three of them are supporting, and even in dynamic system it is not in an in-between trend, so we can straight away go ahead and do the trade. So this is the case of Nifty. Now let us check. Mr. Sushil Desale asked for Hindustan Unilever. Let us check that. Now here is the case of Hindustan Unilever. You can see it has told us to buy a call option maybe somewhere at this point in time, and you are still holding on to the call option. So simply hold on to it. There is nothing much can be done here. Now as the price goes up, any zigzag or anything appears on top, that is when it will ask you to exit the call option. Or if the price starts coming down, maybe I think only when intra-week long signal gives a sell, it may ask you to buy exit call. So until then you have to hold on to this. And then Reliance. Now in the case of Reliance, it is telling us to hold call option. Somewhere at this point in time it had told us to buy a call option. You could have bought it yesterday at around 10:55 in the morning, somewhere at around 1568, and you're still holding on to it. Now it is at 1579 yesterday's closing. But then in the meantime, if you have got into an options trade and within this 11 points movement, if you saw some good profits out there, then definitely you could have thought about a shift over, because there is a DMBOT symbol on top. Anyways, just hold on to the call option, wait until it tells you to exit call option. But if it tells you to buy a put option, then don't forget to check the Tenkai signal. So this is about Reliance. Let us check SBI. There's a big list of stock, Mr. Sushil. It's surprising that you are trading in all these. So anyways, SBI, you can see here, there's a point where it has told us to buy a put option, and later the price has come down. At this edge point, it has also made us to exit the put option as of now. No trading opportunity. If the price of SBI starts going up, then intraday 3 long is in buy, intra-week long is in buy. Just check what's happening in dynamic system. I think it must be definitely in a long position. But if it is, then there is no need to check the Tenkai signal. But then only when it gives you a selling opportunity. If it tells you to buy a put option, anyway, the preparation is also telling you get ready to buy put option. So if you're getting into a put option, then you may have to check the Tenkai signal before you do the trade. So if you're trading in SBI, then Bank Nifty will be the Tenkai signal for you. And then let us check HDFC. Now this is a case of HDFC. Earlier at this point in time, maybe it has told you to buy a put option, but anyways, there is a zigzag. There was an intra-week long signal edge point. It does there. You would have exited. There is no trade as of now. The action says stay tuned for the next trade. But if the price starts coming down, and if it comes down below the intra-week long signal, that is when the action will tell you to buy a put option. So just check the dynamic system. If it is also in sell, then there's no need to check any Tenkai signal. You can go ahead and do that. But if the price goes up and if it tells you to buy a call option, then you may have to check the Tenkai signal, because intraday 3 long is a mismatch. Got it? So these are all about the individual stocks. It's a Suhag in Nifty. Instead of speed, give buy zigzag at the top. So sell in Nifty. So also sell in Bank Nifty. No, I didn't understand this. Let me check Nifty. In Nifty, instead of speed, give buy. All right. Yeah, Suhagji, now one thing that you have to understand, now the question that you are asking is related to this Daumantic method when we were doing it manually. Before this automation happened, we were doing it manually. In such a case, you may have to look into all these things in order to get into a trade. But then now if the price starts going up, and if there is a major zigzag on top here, and since the speed signal is already in sell, the action will automatically tell you to buy a put option. So you don't have to look into all those factors. Just focus on one thing. Whenever the action tells you to do a trade, that is when you are going to do the trade. Now, before you do the trade, whether you have to check the Tenkai signal or not to check the Tenkai signal, this is what you're supposed to understand. And when you check the Tenkai signal, you decide whether to do this trade or not to do this trade. If you can do this three-step process, then it is more than enough. You will be able to make some handsome profit. Now, that is how I am trading. And you have seen my 2 months trading report. In the first month, it gave me almost 70% return. The second month also gave me, around 40% returns or more. Now, this is how consistently it has performed. You just have to implement it. Okay. The more detail you try to dig in, now what will happen is you will end up confusing yourself. Maybe you are trying to search for trades. Now, when you go about searching for trades, then maybe once again we end up doing mistakes. So Satya, dynamic system is installed. Thank you for your help and support. May start trading on Monday. Sure, Mr. Satya, all the very best. All right, Raghava, I hope you are very clear now as far as the M&M finance is concerned. Scenario one, that's what all these scenario 1, 2, 3, it is when we were doing it manually. Suhagji, do you understand? We were doing this Daumantic method level 2 manually when there was this part was not there. When we were doing it manually, this part was not there. In such a case, you have to look at scenario 1, 2, 3, everything. But then all these scenarios are today automated. It will automatically tell you, it will go through all the scenarios and it will automatically tell you. So you don't have to look at anything else. Just follow what the Domantic method level 2 action information tells you to do. All right, Nifty gives a sell, then take position in Bank Nifty. Now you can see here, uh, now normally yesterday when this edge point was there, now Bank Nifty, when intraday 3 long signal gave a sell, this edge point had happened in Nifty, so we did not do the trade in Bank Nifty, so we waited. Now what are we waiting for? If Nifty intraday 3 long signal gives a sell, then we can get into Bank Nifty. We can take an entry in Bank Nifty. Why? Because we avoided the trade in Bank Nifty because Nifty was blocking us, and Nifty ID3 long signal edge point was blocking us. So if that clears the route, then we can always go ahead. But then you can see here, by the time this price of Nifty comes down and intraday 3 long signal gives you a sell in Bank Nifty, what has happened is uh, now it has already reached the intra-week long signal edge point. You can see here, and the reason it is very clearly written as intra-week long signal edge point. So since that has happened, now I will wait for intra-week long signal itself to give a sell in Bank Nifty. So it will be absolute clear sell. That is when I can go ahead and do the trade. Clear, Mr. Suhagji? And PVR and ITC, let us check. Now here is the case of PVR. It has told us to buy call option now somewhere at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. So you can see here it's very clearly written buy call option now, and after buying a call option, the price has shot up, and there was a dynamic system caution. If anyone had a call option in place, then if you saw some good profit, then you could have shifted over. But then, or else you are still holding on to the call option. Wait until it is very clearly written here as exit call option now. And then let's check ITC. Well, there is a case of ITC. There is no trade as of now in ITC, but anyways, it is telling us to get ready to buy a call option. So for that, the price has to go above this intra-week long signal for you to get the buy, or maybe before intra-week long signal gives you buy, maybe once the price crosses intraday 3 long signal at around 9:30 in the morning itself, it may give a buy if the price starts going up. But or else, if it starts coming down, once the intraday 3 speed signal gives a sell, only then it is going to tell you to buy a put option. So this is about ITC, and then National Aluminium. Now this is the case of National Aluminium. Even in this, there is no trade. Stay tuned for the next trade, but get ready to buy a put option. So I think when intra-week long signal gives you a sell, that is when it is going to tell you to buy a put option. So wait until then. But instead, if the price starts going up and intraday 3 speed signal gives you a buy, and if it tells you to buy a call option, make sure that you check the Tenkai signal because ID3 long is still in red. So this is about National Aluminium. I hope all your Domantic method related stocks and doubts has been cleared. So let us move on to dynamic system now. Now here is the case of dynamic system. We are looking at Nifty, and in Nifty, once again, we are still holding on to the long position. Yesterday, the price did not come to the exit point, so we are holding on to it. Remember, there is no trend edge point on top, so we have to wait for range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lower. From there, we have to place 0.5% lesser. So in this case, you can see here, range 4 is 9,937 and speed signal is 9,742. So 9,742 is the lowest, and when you calculate 0.5%, it comes up to 49 points. 9,742 minus 49 points, it is 9,693. So today, if the price of Nifty trades below 9,693, that is when we will exit our long and get into short trade, or else we will still hold on to the long position. And anyone holding a long position in options, if the price starts going up on any DMBOTS or anything, now when will a DMBOTS appear? Now you will know it before itself, isn't it? You can, just scroll this detailed report to the right side, extreme right side. So you can see here, if the price starts going up, now these are all the DMBOTS levels. So you know which are the numbers. So if the price reaches these numbers and if you are in a good profit, then you can definitely shift over, isn't it? So this is how you can do it. So this is about Nifty. Now let us look at Bank Nifty. Now this is the case of Bank Nifty. Even in Bank Nifty, we are holding long position. The price did not come to the exit point. There is no trend edge point on top. So our exit will be range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest. So in this case, range 4 is 20,211 and the speed signal is 19,847. So we have to reduce 0.5% from there. So let us see, it is almost 100 points. So it is 19,747. So if the Bank Nifty price trades below 19,747 today, then we can exit long and get into a short position as far as dynamic system level 2 trading method is concerned. So this is all about it. Now before we move on to the dynamic superpower trading method, if there is any questions or doubts, then you can ask me now. I'll give you a minute's time. Please make it quick. All right, there you go. So M&M Finance. Daily chart, and then we have to add all three major trends. All right, you can see here in M&M Finance, there is no trend edge point on top. Without any trend edge point, the price is trying to come down. But anyways, we must be still holding on to the long position. And today our exit point will be range 4 or speed signals, whichever is lowest. So speed signal is lowest, 143.70. So 143.70 into 0.5%, it is 71 paise. So let us make it 75 paise. So it is almost 142.95. So if the price of M&M Finance trades below 142.95, that is when you can exit your long and get into a short trade, Mr. Raghav. So you have exited it wrongly yesterday. Fine. If in case you find it at around the same ranges, you can bite back once again. No problem there. But then I hope you have noted down the exit point for today. Now, instead of coming down, if it starts going up, remember there is a trend on top. It is at 160.84. So if the price of M&M Finance reaches this number, then immediately change your exit point to range 2. Just place your exit point below range to 156.94. Got it? So this is about M&M Finance. All right, looks like there are no other doubts. So let us move on to dynamic superpower trading then. Look at Bank Nifty and Nifty. Now here's the case of a Nifty. As we discussed yesterday, there is a dynamic caution on top. From the top, the price came down, the better confirmation did come. As the price came down, there is a edge point, we would have shifted over. Now if you have done the shift over, then it is good. And then the price has tried to move up, and if the price continues to move up, then wait for intraday 3 speed signal itself to give you a buy without any caution. So when it gives you a buy without any caution, exit your short and get into a long trade. And or else if it starts going down, then there's nothing much to worry. Just hold on to your short position. Any dynamic caution at the bottom at intra-week long signal edge point or below, you know that there is a weekly caution on top. So if the price comes down and tries to move up, then it's better you wait for the better confirmation itself, okay, rather than exiting for a sharp confirmation. So this is all that you're supposed to do in Nifty. So the other thing that you have to understand, there is a weekly caution, there is a monthly caution also. Now, once the intra-week long signal also gives you a sell, so it adds to the strength to bring it down. Okay, so this is about Nifty. Now, let us understand Bank Nifty. Now, Bank Nifty is also very similar. You can see here the weekly caution is there on top. It is a C2 caution. But then earlier, if you remember, yesterday we saw that the daily wrong trend was telling us buy signal, wait and act. So, but now it has turned to buy long, act now. But anyways, even after that, the price has come down. And since there is a weekly caution on top, now if the price starts going up, let us say intraday 3 speed signal gives me a buy without any caution, then I can exit short and get into a long. But after getting into a long, as the price starts going up, let us say it reaches intraday 3 long signal edge point, and if there is a zigzag, even if there is a zigzag, I will immediately exit my long and get into a short trade, just because the pressure, the zigzag or edge point on top is supported by this weekly caution. Okay, but if the price starts coming down and if you come across any dynamic system caution, then wait for a better confirmation to exit short and get into a long trade. All right, so this is about Nifty and Bank Nifty as per the dynamic superpower trading method. Now, this is all about today's session, gentlemen. If there is any other questions or doubts, you can ask me now and make it quick. If there are no doubts, you can also text saying that there are no doubts. All right, I'm sorry. So Mr. Sushil had said that he earned good money with the help of dynamic system. So all the very best, Mr. Sushil. I'm so very happy. Congratulations to you. I wish you more profits to come. You know, keep working, keep following it as you did till now. Just do it the same way, and you will start earning more and more profits. Now, I hope you are able to hear me now. Is my voice audible to all of you? Yes or no? Are you able to hear me? All right, Manohar. As far as Bajaj Finance is concerned, it is very similar to Bank Nifty. That's what I was trying to tell you. Uh, this is Bajaj Finance, isn't it? So you can see here, any which ways you are holding a short position since there is a better confirmation. The price has come down, and if it starts going up, and if intraday three-speed signal gives you a buy without any caution, then you can exit short and get into a long trade. But after you get into a long trade, if it reaches any trend, signal edge point on top, then you can exit long and get into a short. And if the price starts coming down, and if there is a dynamic caution at the bottom, then if it starts reversing, then you have to wait for a better confirmation to exit short and get into a long trade. So this is all about Bajaj Finance. It is very similar to Bank Nifty next action plan. So this is about Bajaj Finance, and then yeah, Jaitit had asked about Bank Nifty. Jaitit, the Bank Nifty question that you have asked, is it as per dynamic system that you are asking, or as per dynamic life? I think you must be asking as per dynamic system. So let us check dynamic system. So if you have missed the long entry now, then the right way, the other best way to get into a long trade is to wait for range one. So range one is 21,428. So only when the price trades above range one, you can get into a long trade. So that would be better. Or uh, the price comes down, and if it is very close to the exit point that we discussed today, it is 19,741 is the exit point for long and entry point. Price comes very close to that, and but then it doesn't cross that, and from there it's trying to cross up, then obviously you have range 3 also to get into a long trade with a very small risk. Okay, so this is how you can get into Bank Nifty. So gentlemen, any other questions or doubts? Yeah, I unfortunately, switched off the mic, so in between, so that is the reason I think the voice was not audible. Any which ways, now it is clear. All right, looks like there are no doubts. So, gentlemen, thank you all for joining today's session. Wish you all the, best. I wish you loads and loads of profits to come by today, and wish you a very happy morning. So, thank you for joining. Have a very good day. See you on the other side in the next session. Thank you.